Hi, Grace. It's 2026 Hybrid APC Day conference again. So I have some questions for you regarding the conference. First, how do I log in to Whova app or a Whova account?
Okay, thank you for your question, Emily. So for anyone who already joined our conference back from 2023 to today, they are probably already familiar with Whova because that's what we've been using for these past years. But I will show you how to log into your Whova account. So when you register for your event for the APCDA conference, you will be added to Whova, and I will send you a welcome email from Whova that looks like this. And here you will find many information, but we need you to focus on the first two here. There are two links which you can click. The first one is leading you to the mobile app install. So if you are using the mobile app, you can click on here and it will lead you to a place where you can download the app. But for today, we're going to talk about the web app. So we are going to access this one, which will lead you to Whova's login page for the web app, which looks like this. So if you used Whova before, or if you already attended our conference before, you can just do the sign in. That only requires your email and password. But if you're new to the system, you need to do sign up, which is the button over here. Basically, this is like creating a brand new account. So you will be adding your name, creating your password, and then logging in. Or there could be a case where it's been a long time since you log in and you forget what your password is. Don't worry. You can also click here and Whova will give you a link where you can create a new password as well. So I'll go ahead and enter my account. I really hope I remember my password well. And don't forget to check on this box that says I'm not a robot because you need to verify. And click sign in. Now, Whova will give you a verification code and it will be sent to your email, which you use for the registration. And this code will expire for after 10 minutes, so make sure you have your email ready to access when you're doing this. Now I'm going to refresh my inbox, see if there's any message from Whova, and there it is. Yep, I'll just copy this and add it to the previous page and click verify. And that's it. This is the homepage of Whova.
Okay, so this is what we will see after a successful login. Can you tell me more about what we can find in the homepage?
Sure. Well, right here at the top of the page, you can see the Whova logo. This will take you to Whova's web page. There's also Whova guides over here, which you can see how to use Whova from Whova's perspective, of course. And there's also about Whova, which will also take you to Whova's page. And then down here, actually next to it, you can see there's a round icon and your name. This is where you can access your profile. So you can either customize your profile here or you can log out from the system, but we're not going to do that. First thing we want you to do when you enter the system is to complete your profile. So you want to go here. And as you can see, there's a lot of information you can add. Like you can add your profile picture, you can change your name settings, you can add your affiliation, and much more information here. You can even add your resume, but there's a limit to the size of the file. And you can add your bio, which we very much recommend so that other people can get to know you better during the conference. You can also add your account links. So usually people add their LinkedIn profile here so we can check each other out. And if you have personal or other web presences, you can add it here as well. And to return to the previous page we see, you can click on the home button over here on the far left. Yeah, and then we're back.
Okay, so I think there's still much more on the different menu that you've discussed earlier. Can you tell me more about it? Because I think the screen was split into 3 different parts. So can you explain more about it?
Of course. Well, on the left side, as you mentioned earlier, there's kind of 3 parts of the screen, right? There's this left one, there's the middle one, and there's the right one, which all moves differently. So in order to move them around, you need to make sure your cursor is on the right side. For example, if I want to move and see more on the middle side, I need to put my cursor here and just scroll down. And the either left and right side won't move at all. So that's one thing you might want to find interesting in the system. And on the left side here, we have a lot of different menus, which we will go through one by one in this video. And this is not going to change. So whenever you go in Whova, this will remain the same. The menus will remain the same. But the middle and the right part will change depending on what menu you're actually opening at the moment. So for instance, at this time, I have the home menu opened. And in the middle part, I can see the conference's description and the banner, which is made wonderfully by our graphic designer. And we can also see the sponsors again. And on the right side, this is the social feeds. So you can see what other people are doing in the conference.
That's very interesting. So where should I go to find the list of sessions in the conference?
Great question. And I think that's the most important part of the system, is to know where to see the conference sessions, right? And you can do that by clicking on Agenda over here. So Agenda has two sub-menus. They have the sessions and the speakers. The speakers is basically where you can see the list of everyone who's going to present in the conference. So you can check that out later. And the sessions is, to answer your question earlier, is where we're going to find everything that's happening in the conference. So when we click here, you can see there are 3 tabs at the top. The first one is full agenda, and its name suggests this is where everything happens. And we have several days on the conference. So if you want to see what's happening on Monday, for example, you can look here. But if you want to see on other days, for example, on Wednesday, you can click on the following date. Or you can go further. If you want to see what's going to happen in person, you can go to the second week as well and see what sessions are going to be conducted at that day. And besides the full agenda, you also have My Agenda. So this is a personalized version of the agenda where you can add, well, let's say your favorite sessions to this list. So kind of like shortlisting the available sessions based on your interest or on what you want to watch. And this is a special.
I can customize the sessions I want to attend for the conference.
Yes, exactly. So because there's a lot of sessions, right, and you might feel overwhelmed looking at everything at once, it's very helpful to pick out first what you want to watch before the conference started. And then the last step here is rehearsal sessions, but this is very specific for our conference production team, like the presenters, the room managers, and session monitors. So this is where they're going to do all the technically complicated stuff before they go to the actual conference. Oh, yeah, this is the speaker type I was talking about earlier. Yeah. This is basically the profile of everyone who will share their insights with us in this conference.
Okay, so all the presenters will have like their profile. Okay, so when the conference begins, how do I join the sessions live? Because sometimes it's very tricky for me to navigate Whova.
Yeah, sure. So you need to go back to the agenda feature, and it depends on which session you want to watch. Let's try using the conference orientation for now, because that's what we're doing, right? And here, if you want to watch this live stream, you need to view details. Other buttons here that you might want to use is this one, which says Add to My Agenda. This is what you use to personalize your agenda, as we discussed earlier. Now, if we jump to View Details, you will see only one session, which is the conference orientation over here. And there's a lot of details. There are the presenter's name. You can also see the engagement tools and so on. Now for the live sessions, I don't think there's a particular Zoom link added to the session yet. So let's try using another session, for example. You will see this kind of box. And this is where you will see the actual presenters presenting their sessions. Now you can click on Proceed anyway. And we want you to join in Whova, because that's how we can record your activities inside the system. Now if I click this, if you're new to Whova, you are going to be asked about your camera and your microphone access. So you need to say allow to those two so that you can turn on your camera and so you can also listen to the presenters when they're speaking. Okay.
So if I am an attendee for the conference, I need to click the Whova button.
Yes, that's correct. I think another interesting thing I want to say here is that you cannot watch the sessions at a time. So for example, I'm seeing the staff rehearsal, but if I go to another session, this one will automatically quit itself. So you can't be at two places in one time. Yeah, and there's also an interesting button that says show agenda here. So just in case, sometimes we have the case where the session presenters are showing up pretty late or they have other things to attend to and unfortunately cannot do the presentation. You can move to other sessions, and an easy way to do that is to click here, which says show agenda. This will basically bring a small tab which shows all the other sessions that are available. So you can move quickly, but as I mentioned earlier, if you decide to move, you will automatically quit this one. So I will try to do that, and I will go to the conference orientation back here.
Cool. I saw like the 4 different features on the right side of the screen now. Can you tell me more about it?
Sure. So in here, let me just, we have 4 things here happening, right? We have the Q&A, we have the polls, we have the chat, and we have community. So this is the engagement tools that's going to be available when you're joining a session in Whova. The first 3, the Q&A, the polls, and the chat will keep changing depending on which session you're in, but the community tab will remain the same. This is basically a list of discussion topics or social groups that are being created in the event. And this can be highly distracting for you if you're watching a session. So we don't recommend you to open the communities tab, but we do want you to check on the other 3 that relates to the current session. So for example, the Q&A, you can see the questions that are being posted. You can also answer polls if the presenters wanted you to answer the available polls. And also you can chat. This is basically what we use to greet other attendees or to add your opinions or your comments or something. But if you wanted to post a question, we highly recommend you don't put it in the chat because your session monitors could miss it. You can add it right away to Q&A so that people can notice it faster.
Very interesting. If I want to meet other people attending the conference aside from the presenters, where do I go?
Okay, so you will need to access a different feature for that, which is called the attendees. It's right under the agenda. So if we're moving menus, we'll need to click on those things on the left. Now, I'm currently opening the attendees tab, and this feature allows you to view everyone, not just the presenters, but also if you want to find the organizers, if you want to find other attendees who's also coming, you can do a lot of things in here as well. For example, there's a button called bookmark. This means that you're going to add them to your shortlist. So it's very important for people who wanted to contact another attendee later on, and to prevent them from forgetting that, they can bookmark and see it later. They can view their somebody else's profile. So this is also why it's important for you to complete your own profile. So when somebody view you, they can actually know about you, right? And you can also say hi. This will basically let you send a direct message to them inside the system. And as you can see right here, there's also many tabs. The all is viewing all attendees, so everyone basically. If you want to find a specific person, you can also search their name here. For example, Emily, if I want to find you, I can type your name, and there you are. And besides the all tab, we also see recommended. So this is an interesting one because this basically is Whova recommending people who have similarities with you. For example, in here, I am from Indonesia, so it recommends people who are also from Indonesia, just in case I wanted to contact them later, catching up, and so on. And then there's bookmark tab. This is for people who you've bookmarked earlier, right? So If you are also overwhelmed with the many attendees attending, you can bookmark them and you can find them quickly here. And last is categories. So this is filtering attendees based on their roles inside the conference. So for example, earlier I explained about in-person and remote attendees. You can sort them here as well. Or if you need technical help, you can find us organizers. I believe Emily is here also. Yeah, you can contact us. And presenters, there's also sponsors. If you're interested in knowing the product that sponsors offered us, you can also find them here. There's also the staff people, which also includes the room manager and session monitors. So if you need their help as well, you can also find them in this list.
Okay, so I learned a lot of the different features of Whova for the conference. But what about other features like community and messages?
Great question. So community is a great place to spend your time other than watching the sessions. So we don't have the sessions all day, right? We only have it in morning until afternoon in my time. So community is a good place to start if you want to find other activities than watching the sessions. This is a place where, again, you can find organizers and look for their help in here and ask organizers anything. There's also announcements. So if there are any last minute changes, for example, we can inform it to you from here. And there are also discussion topics. So that's the interesting part where you can communicate with other attendees to raise a discussion or talk about issues that are happening in the career development area around the world. So you can add a discussion by clicking on this button, and then you can also join other people's room. So if you feel like, I don't know what to add, but I want to be contributing to other people's discussion, you can also do that around here. Or if you're coming in person, for example, and you wanted to know, what should I do with Malaysia? You can also come to this one, local recommendations, where our local attendees can give you recommendations on what you can find or what you can do while you're already traveling to Malaysia. And you also ask about messages. It's a very similar thing. The main difference is this is a personal one. So in community, everyone can see what you're talking about. Everyone can access it. But in message, it's a one-on-one message. You can find existing chats or you can create a new one. You can find an attendee's name. I will try to find you again. And simply type in your message and click send. That way you will start something with the other end.
So there's a feature labeled Win a Prize. What is this about?
Okay, thank you for noticing that, Emily. So Win a Prize is where we're having our contests. So we have two contests in this year's conference. This is the Fun Fact Contest, and there's another one called Conference Mastery Awards. So I'll start with this one. So Fun Fact Contest is basically a place where we want you to share interesting facts about yourself that can be notable or can be memorized by other attendees in the event. So I see there are some entries here already. People are posting about their photos, their activities, their career, of course. And those people who had high engagements would have the possibility to win this contest. So if you are interested in winning a prize from APCDA, you can definitely engage or post your own content, and hopefully you will get a lot of engagement from other attendees as well. Not just to win a contest, actually, it's most importantly, we want to get to know each other in this conference. So I think that's our main purpose for creating this contest. The other contest is not visible yet, but it's called the Conference Mastery Awards. So basically, that's us appreciating people who are actively joining sessions in Whova. So if you join sessions and you stay in a session for more than 10 minutes, you will get a virtual badge. So we're going to have a list of people with many badges. We're going to randomly pick 3 winners to accept the Conference Mastery Award.
Exciting. I'm excited for the prizes in store for the winners for the conference. Another interesting feature I see here is sponsors, because I saw the two logos on the right side of the screen. So what happens if I click the sponsor button?
Thank you for bringing my attention to that. So if you click on the upper side, like the one you always see, you will go to the sponsor's website. But if you click on the one on the left, you will be able to see their virtual booth. Now both of the sponsors have physical booths as well, so you can also find them when you're joining in University of Malaya. But here, everyone can find them in their virtual place. For example, I'm right now opening Kinobi's booth. You can see their video, and also if you scroll down, you can find more information about them. There's a description and there's a handout available. You can also chat them for more information. For example, if you want to know more about them, you want to schedule a personal meeting to know more about their company, you can also do that from the chat box on the far right. But please keep in mind that this is a public chat, so whatever being said here will be visible to everyone who accesses this booth.
Nice. We have two sponsors for this year. On the left side of the screen, I noticed the resources and my stuff button. So what are those features in Whova?
Okay, so resources is a place where, well, as its name suggested, you find resources, right? Let's try clicking on Sessions Q&A. So over here, you can see what are the questions being asked in all the sessions. Besides the Q&A, you can also access documents that are posted by the conference organizers. And then you can also fill in surveys. This is the session feedback survey. So at the end of every session, we hope you spend 1 or 2 minutes to share us your feedback. And if you cannot find it in the sessions tab that I explained earlier, you can also find them here. So you can click on View Surveys, find the name of the session that you attended, and you can fill in the session feedback from here. There's also going to be a conference overall survey, but it's not visible yet because the conference is not end yet. It hasn't even started yet, technically. So after the conference is finished, we also would want you to give an overall feedback by filling in that survey. And the last thing, I think there's Whova Guides. Here you can also see Whova's official document about how to use the system, basically. So if you're a speaker and you wanted to know, what should I know about the system? What should I do to make my presentation seamless in Whova? You can also read from there and at this particular place. My stuff is something much more personalized. So you can see your agenda again. So besides the agenda feature, you can also see it here. I did not bookmark anything yet, so it's empty. But I'm sure if we're spending much time here, there will be filled with a list of interesting sessions. And then there's my notes. So Whova also gives you the ability to add notes in sessions. And it will all be compiled here, and you can download it to your local folder as well. So if you find it troubling to write notes of different sessions in different places, Whova gives you a place to do it all in one place and then export it as one. And then you can also access your profile here. So it's the same thing as what I showed in the beginning. You can customize your profile, and please do it as complete as you can because we really want to get to know each other in this conference.
Okay, so thank you very much, Grace, for that very informative orientation about the Whova app, where we will be using this app for the 2 weeks of the conference. So I think I'm now ready to explore my Whova app, and I'm ready to attend the conference sessions.
Thank you for joining me today, Emily. See you on the conference.
See you. Bye.